Hi Cancer, welcome to your solar eclipse in Cancer special with me, Raphael Ray from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Solar eclipse in Cancer. I'm a Cancer moon sign, so on a sort of mini scale this will be relevant for me too, but I'm really interested to see how this pans out for everybody and you guys especially. So before we start, I would like to bless these notes and these cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So I am a baby astrologer. I'm a neophyte. I've been doing tarot over half my life. I've been doing astrology a lot less than that. These are like practice for me, and they're also my personal unique take on things. And it's always worth remembering that while these are massive, there's going to be a key to the eclipses video. Please check it out. It will just flesh out some of what I can't explain in the personal sign scopes. And then also, yeah, like I said, it's my unique take on it. And remember that this transit isn't going to happen alone. There will always be other things happening in the sky, happening in the cosmos. So, you know, just keep that in mind. With that said, Cancer. The solar eclipse is taking place in your sign. Now, the interesting thing for me personally is this is happening at 20 degrees of Cancer, and my moon sign, my natal moon, is directly at 20 degrees of Cancer. So I'm, you know, really interested to see how this will affect me personally. So, this is the eclipse. This is your eclipse. It's your time. As I've always said, yeah, and I've always said this, when anything happens in the first house, especially if you're a Cancer ascendant, this is going to be really potent. It's going to be really potent if you're a Cancer sun sign as well. But if you know, especially if you're an ascendant Cancer, because this is right on there. Especially, I mean, if you've got 20 degrees Cancer at your ascendant degree, this is going to be like you'll be, you know, oh, it's going to be powerful. So so yeah, I've always said when anything happens in the first house, it gives you a modicum of control over what's going to happen. Now, one of my favorite astrologers, Steve Judd, always says the planets impel, they don't compel. And you know, my astrology teacher, who I adore, who's brilliant, always says that the planets don't do things to you. They create an energy and a space and an experience around you, and how you respond to that is where the free will part comes in. You know, I'm paraphrasing him, so hope that was right. But that's my take on it. That's, you know, that's how I intuit it. That's how I feel it. So this is happening in your first house. And the first house is about you. It's about your identity. It's about yourself. It's about your ego. It's even about your physical body. You know, it's about who you are at a core level, and it asks you to take a really deep look at what you want to change, what you would redo, and how you would choose to be seen if you had the choice. This is effectively a magic wand placement. You know, eclipses, especially a solar eclipse, brings an initiatory energy with it. It brings an initiatory energy of change. It gives you a chance to redo, to start something, and really start it with a lot of power behind the change that you decide to implement. You know, and the eclipses are change points. They will drive you towards change and create the, what's the word? The environment for change around you. So with the eclipses as well, yeah, they bring a little bit of crisis, because it's you know, it's change that will be implemented, and it's about how accepting or value, or how accepting or how conscious you can be of the energy. You know, and Cancer's a cardinal sign. You guys do change really well. Starting things you do really well. All the cardinal signs are really good self-starters. You know, they can be really self-motivated in that way. This could come with a bit of an existential crisis, because it's about the self, the identity, the ego. Who am I? It could see you asking yourself that age-old question, that fundamental question: who am I? Who do I want to be? Who do I want to be seen as? You know, and this could be really important to you at this time over the next 3 months. It can see you digging into your own psyche to reinvent yourself and even produce a new image, one in your own colours. And I love that. You know, these are the notes that I've written to help guide me through the video, and it is that. You know, the wand isn't just a wand. You can turn it into a paintbrush, and you can repaint and reimagine and re-envisage yourself any way that you want. This is the first house. It gives you the power to change something about yourself, about how you're seen, about who you are. You know, and the fact that this is happening in the first house and it gives you the opportunity to change that, it also gives you the ability to change how others perceive you. And that's one of the really difficult things in the world. It's difficult things about everything. We can't change other people's thoughts and feelings. We can't change other people. We can only change ourselves. But this energy shining a light in your first house can really give you the ability to make changes and have them received really well by the people that surround you. Okay, this aspect is going to be trine Jupiter, Lord of expansion, philosophy, law, you know, protection, all of those things. Could see you really imagining something, you know, really imagining and envisioning something big for your life. You daring to dream really big for something that you want in your life, for something that you care deeply about creating for yourself. And it can see you having the guts and the gusto to really go for it. And it will see you implementing the changes within self that you need to implement to bring those things, those grand visions to life within your life. You know, and that's the thing. Sometimes when we ask for something, we expect that thing to come to us, but we're not ready to receive it on an internal level. And, you know, this gives you the chance to change who you are on the inside so that you can welcome the things that you ask for, and the changes that you want to implement in your life can be supported and facilitated by the world around, by the world around you. It can see you asking yourself, what do I want from life and the world now, and who am I going to have to be to get it? Yeah, that's, you know, that's like I was saying, that's a really fundamental question to ask yourself. Who will you have to be to have that grander vision for your life? How will you have to Jupiter grow, expand and change? Solar eclipse, what will you have to redo in the first house? You know, what will you have to change about who you are to implement these grand visions for yourself? To have that better, bigger life that you've always dreamed of. And then finally, the first house through the texture of Cancer is going to give a deep sense of comfort and security, and it's going to see you really seeking to find these things in and of yourself. You know, Cancer craves comfort and security. It craves that space that, you know, like the crab, that it can go into its shell and stay in and be safe and protected from the outside world. Well, this is going to see you start to really find that within yourself, and more importantly, create it in your life through the vehicle of self, through the vehicle of understanding who you are, changing some of that to incorporate the changes that you want to implement in your life, and more importantly, to cement them, to present to the world this new being that you're choosing to be. And then finally, becoming your own master like never before, because this is happening in your sign. It's giving you a chance to press a grand reset button, therefore giving you a redo, and the beauty is it's all on your terms. This is it. This is you finding a way to create what you want, and you're doing it on your terms, in your own way. You can go your own way. And you really can, you know, and that's the chance that you have. It's just going to require you to be brave. It's going to require you to really look at who you are and to ask yourself that question and be honest with the answers that you find. Because if you're honest with yourself about what comes up when you ask yourself the question, who am I? Then you can really look at that and say, okay, well, that's great. I love that person, but this needs to be changed. That can be tweaked a little bit. And the overall package I want to present like this. And when you do that under this transit, especially if you're an ascendant Cancer, this is going to see you really being supported by the world and the people around you, and accepted for the changes that you make and the person that you choose to become going forward. The tarot's message for you is that of the Hierophant. So this says the status quo, the establishment, the rules, the regulations. You need to insert and assert yourself onto it, and you need to find a way to the words that I'm hearing right now. And this is really interesting because this is the rules, the regulations. It's the establishment, it's the church, it's the government, it's all of those things. I'm not saying go against any of those things. You know, if you're religious, don't go against the church. If you're, you know, don't be an anarchist and go against the government. What it's asking you is to find a way to truly be yourself, that if you need to, don't break the rules, rewrite them. You know, this is one of the beauties of the world that we live in today. You know, laws are always being revised and rewritten. And if you think that there's some structure in your life that needs to change, or its response to you needs to change, by implementing these changes of self and in self, you're going to really find some sort of way to build comfort around yourself to facilitate the changes that you need in your life. And it could see you changing something really fundamental, something that you think is set in stone, something that you think is the law and is written as it is. This could see you saying, well, actually, no, I don't accept that. And that paradigm needs to change. You know, so this is what I'm saying. Don't be afraid to bend the rules if you have to. And if you need to, fucking rewrite them. You know, and I'm getting, you know, I'm saying that like, oh, everyone's going to be like, oh, he's swearing. You know me, I've got a potty mouth. I have done forever. So, yeah, you know, it's not necessarily about breaking the rules. It's not even about bending them. Sometimes it's about rewriting them. What is it? What is the structure in your life that needs to change in accordance with the changes that you're making in your life and for yourself? Cancer, I wish you an abundance of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance itself. Have an amazing time. Let me know how this plays out for you. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I will be eternally grateful for it.